Hey, what's up everyone? This is Anthony with Anthony's Customs, and the next video I want to do for you is a review of the Halo Reach Series 6 by McFarlane. This is the Walgreens exclusive white JFO with the silver visor and the target designator, target locator, whichever you want to call it. He comes with one plasma grenade, whatever shoulder pads these are, they're the same on both sides, standard chest piece, basic JFO helmet with the silver visor and the white armor, which looks really good. The visor, that is. The white armor, I mean, I know it's supposed to look battle damaged, but it kind of just comes off looking like a junky paint job, to be honest. Obviously it's not, it's a solid paint job, but they were a little heavy-handed with the battle damage and the wear, so it kind of looks sloppy. He does come with the target designator, that is this right here. This is one of the few weapons that does not have a peg hole in it because they never put it anywhere. Actually, they do, I think. They put it on their hip. So they should have a peg hole. Forget that. That's not a cool thing. It's a bad thing. The paint job's okay. It's got some of the red there on the trigger and up on this piece. A couple different shades. Some silver, some gray, some camo color green. The front part has almost no paint on it, so that's a problem. And then the part that has the screen in the game has no paint on it either. So that's a problem too. They could have easily just put like the little red circle or something on there. It's sculpted really well, and he can hold it just fine since he doesn't actually need a trigger finger, but it could have had just one more paint application and would have made it really, really nice. As always, the plasma grenade looks like a plasma grenade, but no paint, just the bluish, silverish, purplish color with the peg hole. Standard articulation, double jointed ball, bar, joint neck, full range of motion in the head, ratcheted shoulders. The ratchets, you can't really feel it so much, but it's not too loose that it's a problem. Full range of motion there. Swivel in the bicep and in the forearm, plus the ratchet elbow, so full range of motion there, nice and tight. You can feel the ratchet, no problems. Same joint for the wrist. Everything works nicely, ratcheted well, nice and stiff, no problems there. Ab crunch, or it's not really an ab crunch, it's the ball jointed torso, so it has limited movement, but it is there. Full twist movement, but the crunch is not that good. It only has probably about a 15 to 20 degree variation. Right arm is the same as the left arm, except for some reason the swivel in the wrist on this one is super duper loose. Everything else works perfectly. I don't know if you can hear that. The ratchet's really nice in the wrist, and everything works really well, except the wrist is super duper loose. I can fix that no problem, so it's not a big deal, but maybe keep an eye out for that. I don't know how you could really, but it is an issue for me. Hips, same as always, they rotate forward and backward right there on that cut joint, and then they have this weird style ball joint that allows the sideways movement and the rotation of the thigh. The knee joint rotates in the thigh, ratcheted forward and backward, and that's it for the knee. It's got the basic knee pads that most of the McFarlane figures have. It's not the default for the game, it's kind of like the default for the figures. That was confusion. There was some confusion regarding that in one of my other videos, so that's what I'm talking about. These are the ones that most of the Spartans have on the figures. The ankle is the same as the wrist, but bigger, and on both of mine it's nice and stiff at the bottom and at the top, so the ankles work really well, no complaints there. Actually, it's so stiff that there we go. But it's yeah, the ankles are great, no problems. The ratchets are nice and strong, and then the toe joint is the plain old ball joint, and that works nicely as well. So really the only complaints I have on this guy are the limp wrist, which doesn't really count because that's just a fluke, and that happens to any highly articulated figure. Once in a while you'll get one that's loose. And the paint job could be a little bit more detailed on the weapon, and then they could have just kept him a little bit cleaner looking for the figure. It's not bad, but it's not great. So that aside, it is a really nice looking figure, and the paint's not bad enough to where it's going to stand out on the shelf as being an ugly figure. So I do recommend you get it if you can find it. I got this from an eBay seller from the UK, so I don't know how easy they're going to be to find at Walgreens, so I figured I might as well get it. But it is a really sharp looking figure with the silver JFO helmet and, well, the silver visor and the target designator. It's definitely worth picking up if you can find it. Or even look for that guy that was on eBay that I bought mine from. there weren't too many of them out there, so keep an eye out for that. It is really good and I do recommend it. So there you go guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the rest of the videos, and in the meantime, keep collecting.